In January 2026, the Ethereum blockchain reached a remarkable milestone. Gas fees on its mainnet collapsed to as low as 1 cent per transaction, while the network seamlessly processed a record 2.6 million transactions in a single day. This development represents a turning point in Ethereum's evolution, showcasing how technical upgrades and ecosystem dynamics have reshaped one of the world's most important public blockchains. For much of its history, Ethereum has been synonymous with high transaction fees, especially during periods of peak demand. At times during previous market cycles, users routinely paid tens of dollars in gas just to make simple transfers or interact with decentralized applications, dApps. These high costs were a significant barrier to wider adoption, deterring retail users and limiting activity to well-funded projects or large holders. Yet as of mid-January 2026, this era appears to be behind Ethereum. According to on-chain data from services like Etherscan, average gas fees on the mainnet have collapsed to roughly 1 cent per transaction, a dramatic drop from the high-fee environment of the past. On January 17, 2026, Ethereum recorded 2.6 million transactions in a single day, the highest throughput the network has ever seen without fee spikes or congestion issues. What caused the fee collapse? The sharp decline in transaction costs did not occur by accident. Multiple strategic upgrades and shifts in how Ethereum handles data and scaling have enabled this transformation. One of the most impactful changes was the Fusaka hard fork, deployed in late 2025. This upgrade introduced peer data availability sampling, peer DAS, and expanded the capacity for data blobs, a mechanism for storing transaction data cheaply and flexibly. Combined with these enhancements, the network's block gas limit was raised significantly, allowing more transactions to fit into each block without causing congestion. These technical refinements helped reduce the cost of using Layer 2, L2, rollups, scaling solutions that bundle many transactions off the main chain and then settle them back on Ethereum. With better support for larger data blobs and more efficient data availability, L2 networks have become cheaper and more attractive. As a result, many transactions that would have congested the mainnet are now handled by L2s at very low cost, indirectly easing the demand on the base layer and keeping mainnet fees minimal. Why it matters? The impact of near-zero gas fees, combined with record transaction volumes, is profound. 1. Accessibility for everyday users. One of the persistent criticisms of Ethereum has been that it priced out small users. When fees routinely reached tens of dollars, many individuals found participating in DeFi, NFTs, or token swaps economically impractical. With fees now in the pennies, users of all sizes can interact with the blockchain without worrying about disproportionate costs. This democratizes access and encourages broader participation in Ethereum's rich ecosystem. 2. Surge in transaction volume. Ethereum's ability to handle 2.6 million transactions in a day without fee spikes is more than just a statistic. It indicates robust network capacity and user engagement. While some reports track a 7-day moving average of over 2.5 million transactions, reaching these levels during a period of ultra-low fees reframes the narrative. High throughput does not inevitably lead to prohibitive gas costs on Ethereum anymore. 3. Stablecoin and DeFi growth. The reduction in fees has coincided with changing usage patterns on Ethereum. Stablecoin transfers now make up a significant portion of network activity, accounting for roughly 35–40% of all transactions. Stablecoins are widely used for trading, transfers, and DeFi operations, meaning that a large portion of that 2.6 million transaction volume reflects genuine economic activity rather than noise or insignificant transfers. 4. Developer innovation. Lower transaction costs incentivize developers to build more innovative applications directly on or atop Ethereum. When deploying smart contracts and experimenting with new dApps no longer risks exorbitant fees for early users, the environment becomes more fertile for experimentation. This is crucial for long-term ecosystem health. How this fits into Ethereum's roadmap. The new low-fee reality is a culmination of years of work. Earlier upgrades, like the Dencun update in 2024, laid the foundation by reducing roll-up costs and optimizing data handling. Subsequent protocol developments continued this trend, pushing Ethereum toward a more scalable future. The shift toward periodic major upgrades, including Fusaka and the upcoming Pectra improvements, reflects the Ethereum community's commitment to scaling. Pectra, for example, is expected to further enhance efficiency, validator performance, and data throughput. Together with continued adoption of L2 solutions, these upgrades are steering Ethereum toward its long-term vision of widespread, affordable on-chain interaction. Market and ecosystem implications. The economic implications are mixed but overall promising. While gas fee revenue for validators and network operators has naturally declined due to lower fees, increased transaction volume may balance or even exceed previous fee-based incentives. Moreover, the increase in activity and broader access could attract fresh capital and boost long-term value for Ethereum's native token, ETH. There are also competitive implications. High throughput, low-fee blockchains like Solana and Binance Smart Chain have long marketed themselves as cheaper alternatives. Ethereum's ability to offer similar economics, but with unmatched security and decentralization, strengthens its competitive position in the evolving blockchain landscape. Challenges and looking forward. Despite the progress, challenges remain. Achieving ultra-low gas fees depends on a delicate balance between mainnet data usage and L2 adoption. Too much centralization on L2S could shift the ecosystem's dynamics in unforeseen ways. Additionally, Ethereum's future upgrades must maintain network security and decentralization while scaling. Nevertheless, the 1-cent gas era and 2.6M transaction record mark a milestone that not only addresses past pain points, but also unlocks new possibilities for users, developers, and institutions. Ethereum's transition from a high-cost settlement layer to a scalable, accessible global computer appears well underway, and the on-chain numbers from January 2026 underline that reality.